Kenya, the gastric balloon is really almost every Kenyan influencer and celebrity is doing it. I would say the first thing is, I'm not the type of person that would take myself through a procedure, mainly because of my health journey. I have gone through sickness, and when I think about going somewhere to get something done or taking something just so I can lose weight, I feel like it is extreme to me, because I have been there where doctors needed to take care of me or go into theater. So I don't think about doing something like that. But I also approach it with grace, in the sense that there are people who really have struggled for a very long time. And you know what's interesting is, when it comes to weight, sometimes people think it's only just about willpower. It's not necessarily about your willpower. It also is about your hormones. Most people haven't figured out that the weight that they are carrying is because of hormones. So meaning your weight that you are carrying is because of something going through your bloodstream that is in extreme. Maybe you haven't been sleeping early enough, and so because of that, you find that you find yourself wanting to snack a little bit more, because there are hormones that are imbalanced. Or maybe because you've been working really, really late, or you've been working really hard and you're stressed, you find you've been putting on the weight so easily, even though you spend the day at work without eating, but when you come home, whatever little you eat, you put on the weight. It's because of a hormone, insulin. It stores more fat no matter what you do. If it's high, the levels are high, you store more fat. So for the people who are using any kind of procedure, or they're taking something for them to lose weight, that is their personal decision. I know for me, I wouldn't be able to go through that, mainly because the more I learn about the human body, the more I realize that we are able to achieve so much. It is hard it is difficult, to be honest, because you need to get to a certain place where you've decided to do something for yourself, and you have to stay disciplined at it. And not everybody has that discipline. For some people, they'll struggle because, again, we've talked about this. For some people, they have prioritized their children, they have prioritized their jobs and everything else. So they're not really going to take in the time to do extra when it comes to themselves, honestly. But I think the one thing that I would say has helped me to understand anyone who's struggling with this and is trying their best to find a solution, it's the fact that someone, that phrase, a drowning man will clutch at a straw. Anything they can find, they'll take. And that's a situation where I don't want anyone to be, because I've been there, where I've been so sick, and anything you told me I would have tried. I would have paid money to try and be well. So they are also trying to find a solution for themselves, and they're doing their best, as long as they understand that whatever it is you do in life will still need maintenance. You're still going to need to maintain it. If you get a procedure like a gastric balloon procedure, at some point you're still going to need to maintain it.
Like a liposuction.
Yes, you're still going to need to maintain it, because I was even watching a video just 2 days ago, and it was explaining about the gastric balloon, interestingly enough. And when I was watching it, I noticed that before you begin the process, there are certain things you need to do. And then when you start, once the procedure is done, they have to introduce things slowly, right? Like a clear liquid first, and then they'll introduce something thicker like a yogurt. Then they'll introduce, and it's period of time like 7 days, a number of days. Now I was like, if you can do that, see, you can do it.
You can do this.
Yeah. I was, in my mind, right? But then I'm not in that situation. The person who's choosing to do that, I was thinking to myself like, wow, okay, so for 7 days you're going to need to just take clear liquid, or for whatever number of days. I don't want to get it wrong. But then I was like, okay, if this balloon wasn't already inserted, would you have been able to do it? If no, then that means you needed it, because it means there was something that you fought but you were not able to. And it's not something that everyone else is going to understand. No one else is going to be able to understand. It will be a personal thing. There are people who have even commented about me and said I'm losing too much weight, but again, they don't know how much I weigh, my height, my